Early one morning, a tiny ant walked slowly across a green field. The sun was rising, and the grass was covered with small drops of dew. The ant looked around carefully and found a single grain of food. The grain was almost as big as the ant's head, but the ant lifted it with all her strength. Step by step, the ant carried the grain back to her small home. When the ant reached home, she placed the grain inside, rested for a moment, and smiled.
The next day, the ant woke up early again. Soon, the ant found another grain, just like the day before. One afternoon, a grasshopper watched the ant and started laughing. "Little ant, why do you work so hard for just one grain?" the grasshopper asked. "You are so slow. Why don't you carry a big pile at once?" The ant smiled and replied gently, "I only carry one grain each day, but I never miss a day." The grasshopper shook his head and said, "That will take forever."
The grasshopper jumped away to play, but the ant continued working. One grain today, another tomorrow. Some days were hot and tiring, and the sun burned brightly, but the ant still carried the grain. Some days were windy, pushing the ant backward, but the ant did not give up. Even when it rained and the ground became muddy, the ant kept going. The ant did not wait to feel motivated. She simply followed her habit. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. While other insects played, the ant stayed focused on the small task. Then, winter finally arrived. Cold winds blew, and food became impossible to find. The grasshopper, who once laughed, was now very hungry. Cold and tired, the grasshopper walked toward the ant's home and knocked on the small door. When the ant opened it, the grasshopper's eyes grew wide with disbelief.
Inside the tiny home was a huge pile of grains. Food was everywhere. "How did you collect so much?" the grasshopper asked. The ant replied softly, "I did not collect it all in one day. I simply carried one grain every day." The grasshopper finally understood. Small actions may look unimportant at first, but when you repeat them every single day, they become powerful. One small step done again and again. That is how big success is built.
Remember the lesson of the ant. You do not need to do something huge today. You just need to take one small step. Carry one grain today, carry another tomorrow. As spring returned, even the grasshopper began to follow the ant's lead. Eventually, you will realize those tiny steps created something truly big. Success isn't about the giant leap. It's about the grain you choose to carry right now.